Hello and welcome everybody, and thank you guys for joining me again. My name is Wilkie and I'm here with a different kind of video. We're going to be taking a quick, it's probably not going to be such a quick look at my daily routine in Lost Ark. Before we actually start, this is going to be taking quite a while, probably an hour, maybe less, maybe more. I will do timestamps in the description below so you don't have to watch the whole video. This is just pretty much showing you guys what I'm doing on a daily basis and how I go about my daily things. So we're gonna start with my main. Here I did also make a daily checklist in case you're interested. I can share what I am using to keep track on daily activities that I have done or that I have to do. So probably the biggest and most important thing to understand is the daily system and how those will affect your speed and general things like that. So currently we're in Rohendel. What I usually start off is my Epona Dailies. So you open the Epona Dailies. I highly suggest putting them onto your favorite tab so you can find them very easy. And naturally, for me to save time, I did set myself the teleport waypoints to those islands. You can sail there, it's not too far away. However, it definitely makes your time or your progress a lot faster if you just do that. Okay, we missed that. So basically we're doing a daily here in order to unlock stuff. Naturally, all these dailies will be different for everybody because everybody is going to have different tasks they want to do, they need to do in order to unlock ships, in order to unlock content, skill points. For this example, I'm doing dailies that will unlock skill points and giant's hearts, which in return will then also unlock skill points again. But needless to say, everybody has different preferences, different needs, what they are planning to do. You will see what I mean because on my alts I'm doing different dailies because they're pretty much there to hasten or to reduce the amount of daily work that I gotta put in. Because even though only having 2 alts is actually kind of a little bit taxing, missed that one. There are probably better places to get these photos here, but I'm just too lazy, so we're just gonna shoot times here. Come on, dude, come here. Please. There you go. But this one, there should be multiple spawns somewhere. There we go. Both of them. I think we need one more. Actually, 2 more. Okay, we got this one. Second part of this quest is just gather these mandrakes. And this is actually the longest daily routine. Obviously, you can use Epona certificates. However, not everybody's gonna have Beatrice's blessing to get those shiny items here. I do actually have it, and I do use them. I will do that at the very end. Alright, so we're done with the roots. Obviously, a character with high mobility or high agility, or both really, definitely helps. But this is just more of a means to enhance and improve your time spent. We're gonna talk to this guy right through this table. Got this one out here. Let's jump back. It's not actually what I wanted to press. Some people actually even make skill builds with movement speed perks and stuff like that listed on, though Devil Hunter is relatively quick, even with the standard PvE build I'm using, so that's what I'm gonna be doing. Alright, so first daily done. On to the second TP, that is gonna teleport me to Sunny Island to do another quest there. And like I said, these quests will definitely vary between each person, especially when you're new to the game. Don't expect, I think this is Divine Melody, yes. Don't expect these dailies to look like mine, because especially if you're new to the game, there's Island Heart that you should be farming, different types of dailies and stuff like that. I just personally do these right now. Starting next week, I will have to start doing different dailies, so obviously your route is gonna vary. It's just really to show you what I'm doing on a daily basis and how even with limited playtime, because I don't really have that much time to play this game, you can facilitate using alts to your advantage, and obviously why you should be doing that. Right, we got the second daily done. While we are here, what I like doing is do some Affinity stuff. So there's also Affinity Daily that you definitely should be doing, even if you just put it into random NPCs. Always do those things, because you have those daily, and Affinity can be important, especially for completionists. Sometimes Affinity is used to unlock some items, so definitely do that. We're going to talk about this. We can't do that, so we need some more stuff. Let's take a growth potion, some silver here. Very nice. Okay, that is done. Alright, my third TP would be to Rohandel, but I definitely want to go to Burn right now, because Burn is usually where I currently spend my Affinity. And the other reason is Burn is relatively, I guess, centered, or it's pretty much the center of the world. So from Burn, it's relatively easy to go to Geneva Coin pirate, it's not pirate, but island activities. Though needless to say, Affinity is highly dependent on what kind of NPCs you're looking for, what kind of region you're in. I cannot really give you guys the most optimal route, because that really depends on what you're planning to do. You don't have to do the Affinity in this order, you can do the Affinity at the very end. I just like to get this one done with, because this is definitely one of the things that I generally like to forget, because it doesn't really have any direct impact. But especially in the long run, it's very important for you to start doing that. Like I said, certain things are locked behind Affinity. Giant's Hearts, I think there's 3 or even 4 Giant's Hearts that are locked behind Affinity. There are other things locked behind Affinity, mostly silver, but you've seen that we just got a stat potion. All of this is very important. Also, don't mind the clutter. We're gonna remove that. So we're gonna move all the way up to that princess, do my Affinity stuff there. And once we're done with the Affinity, we're pretty much done with 2 of the daily tasks. One of this is an account task, because the Affinity is only available per account. So we're done with the songs. After we played with the songs, then the other 2 emotes. Boom. And there we go, take the present with us, another plat coin. You can click those through. I'm not going to do the quests. We're trying to do this as quickly as possible. So there are emotes to be done here. This one takes quite a bit of time. So naturally, if you find NPCs that are more aligned to your route, you're going to have a much easier time to finish these. But this is all really just about to show you what I'm doing on a daily basis. Alright, we got that one done. So I think Rania Village is where some NPCs are. According to my list, I can only do 1 emote here. And we still have to do 3 more then. Let's jump here quickly. And you probably can already tell that by optimizing this, you'll not only reduce the strain and annoyance of things that you have to do or want to do in the game, but also it opens you up to more content to actually like explore or learn about the game and things like that. So actually, I don't know where other NPCs are. So we have to do a little bit. As you can tell, I haven't fully optimized my Affinity route either yet. So we have another emote here. So we have 2 emotes to spend. And we're gonna check, we have... Who's that name? Adventure Selfie. So we have Bernal Forest. Happens here. In the hopes that she will give me the remainder of my Affinity uses. If not, really, like I said, it doesn't matter. You can do it on alt. So there is no real rush to finish this on your main. I just like doing it, so that's out of the way. Because this is literally the one thing that I forget pretty much daily. Unless I do it at the start. So I like doing it at the start. Okay, we're down one emote. We're gonna finish that on another character. So the next thing that I like to do on my main are Chaos Dungeons. Chaos Dungeons, I think, are pretty much self-explanatory, so you should always do them on as many characters as you can. Actually, we did forget about the daily. So we're going to do Alt-J, instant, use one of these certificates, boom. We're done with dailies. So 2 tasks are out of the way. Let's check our skill. Chaos Mirag is my current skill build. Dump all the materials into the vendor. We get potions. Alright. I prefer doing these alone because it's pretty much... I mean, it really depends on the class and type of playstyle, and that if you like playing with people, obviously doing Chaos Dungeons together is definitely an option. I just really try to optimize these daily tasks, because you literally should be doing them every day in order for you to have the maximum growth on your character, especially if you're a free-to-play character. Playing multiple heroes is very, very effective. Even playing 2 or 3 characters, just like what I'm doing, is very, very good. You don't have to play hordes of alts, like 10. Like, I have people in the guild that have 10 characters or more. You definitely don't have to do that. Sure as hell it does give you a bonus, but if you have the time to play 10 or more characters, you probably know what you're doing in the game. If not, then God bless you, but you should really work on your work ethics then. But yeah, like I said, Chaos Dungeon is not really something that needs explaining, I think, at this point. In case you want to jump to the next point, like I said, the chapters or the timestamps are going to be listed in the description below. So just jump ahead to the future section, which, yeah, it's pretty much only the guild contribution left on this character. And then we're going to hopping into an alt. Okay, first one done. Low quality earrings. Like I said, the more you do these Chaos Dungeons, and the thing is, even if you fail the Chaos Dungeon, unless you fail in the first room, which I don't think anybody fails in the first room, it is just really about gathering the experience, understanding how this stuff works, and just really doing it. Okay, we did actually clip all of them. That's a very nice one. This is also a trick that somebody told me, that once you kill the big elite mobs, you get a massive amount of cooldown reduction. So if you manage to line them up and nuke them with your awakening skill, this is pretty much how you can very easily clear this thing. Just gonna do some small damage here, group them up, wait for the last guy to come here. Very nicely grouped. Go. And that's the last of the 3. Rinse, repeat. Use potions. Don't be cheap on potions, really. If you want to run this effectively, fast, and secure, use potions, use your awakening. Just really don't be cheap on things like that. I used to be very cheap on that, but first of all, running multiple alts gives you a much easier time to actually keep on farming shillings, as you can already see, or as you will see once we start playing on my alts. So there's that. I didn't ult there because there was really only one guy. Plus, I'm relatively high up the current skill requirements. So obviously, if you're just fresh 885 or whatever gear score or item level you need, running Chaos Dungeons will be a lot more difficult, so it's highly recommended to just use your awakening whenever you can. There we go, boss is here. We're gonna wait for a second animation here. A longer one, please. That one's good. And boom, decimated. Last room, like I said, self-explanatory, and this is pretty much all I'm doing on my main. Like I said, I'm leaving out daily raids because I can't solo them. So I usually keep those for later in the day when I have groups or people in the guild, because pugging some raids is really not that great. So I highly suggest, unless you can solo it or you're comfortable doing pugs, I would definitely always get a group going for raids, just to really save your time and not get infuriated with randoms, because sometimes they really are not that great. I mean, that goes pretty much for any game. Group them up, shotgun, boom. Very straightforward, and as you can see, I'm getting a lot more comfortable doing these things. But that just really goes without saying that this is all about the experience that you're getting with the game. There's no big secret there to what I'm doing, and like I said, my gear is not that great. I'm just really up ahead at the gear curve. Go, second stone is up. No reductions there. We could actually use my ult, but we really don't have a reason to do that here. Just gonna keep it for the next group. Very relaxing content, very easy to do, at least for me. But generally, like I said, if you like doing this in a party, that's perfectly fine as well. There's absolutely no drawback to do any of these in a party, unless you obviously run it with trash people, then I highly recommend not to do it. You're better off doing it solo then. But that's just my 2 cents, like I said. I like clearing content solo when I can. Just because it kind of takes away the need to be on a specific time and set dates with people. Okay, seems like we missed some enemies somewhere. There we go. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of them here. Make sure that this doesn't happen to you, because this may be the round killer for you in your Chaos Dungeon runs, so I highly recommend not screwing up on that one. Alright, we're gonna nuke this guy with the ultimate. Boom. Group them up again. And shotgun. And shotgun. The next pack is gonna be the round bringer. And boom, boom, boom. There we go. First run done. Just click on accept story progress. Just enter again. Like I said, all these functions, all this routine, if you're able to get this one done, this will help you immensely in growth and Lost Ark. Obviously, this is more for the PvE folks out there than for the PvP folks, but I still think it's interesting to see what other people do. I'm sure there's a bunch of people that do it in a similar fashion or do other things, so just doing it a little bit different, mixing it up to not make myself feel completely bored. Inventory still has space. Obviously you could sort out the inventory, but I will do that afterwards, so we're not gonna blow out the video longer than we have to. Crazy how a few item levels make such a massive difference. I remember when I was fresh 885, like I'm right now 895, but when I was a fresh 885 item level Devil Hunter, I almost failed this dungeon. Like I literally cleared it the one time with like 2 seconds left. That was very scary. Okay, we're done. Move up. Obviously, you can't clear it. It really depends on how much time you want to spend in each specific dungeon. That really is up to you in personal preference. We do want to grab these guys over here. Make sure to use the speed orbs. Alright. Looking good so far. We got one. We got two. There's a third guy straggling behind. Okay, I did clip them all. Nice. Having a narrow awakening kinda makes it possible to whiff. As long as you clip at least one or two guys, you should be fine though. Like I said though, you do need to land those precisely. Because this is what will make or break your runs. At least on Devil Hunter. Or unless you have like top-notch engravings and stuff. You're obviously free to play a little bit less optimized, I guess, if you will, but what's the point really? The other guy. Some stragglers are up there. Let's grab those. And I really started to enjoy actually running Chaos Dungeons. It's a fun thing every day. At least on one character. Doing it on my alts is kind of a little bit annoying, though right now I only have one alt I do it on, so it's not that much of a big deal. But I can see this being a problem if I start doing it on more than 3 characters or something per day. Not actually such a nice group, but we're definitely fine. Boss should be up soon. Grab those packs. There you go, boss just spawned. We do have my ult up. We're just gonna murder him. Boom, boom, boom. Actually, there are no back attacks for awakening skills, at least not the ones that I have used. But generally, I still like to position myself like that, just to be sure. Alright. Everything picked up. Third and final room for my Devil Hunter. So far, so relatively good. Like I said, there is really nothing else that I'm gonna be doing on my Devil Hunter other than the guild contribution. Because raids are definitely not a thing that I want to pug and that I can do solo. Or maybe I could do a shot to solo. I actually haven't tried, but yeah, I'm not gonna bother with that, to be honest. And let's do that guy. Wreck these guys down here because this is where the next wave is also gonna spawn. Yeah. You could actually use Devil Hunter's ult because it has a very nice reach and straight line to murder those guys, but I don't think it's worth it. Using my sniper skills just works fine. And just mix it up a little bit. There you go. Second stone is up. Back attacks are just so crucial in order to deal maximized DPS. And with the Berserk aura and the attack speed that you're getting, it should be fairly possible to do it. Make sure we're not leaving any stragglers behind this time. For those guys. Grenade, you jump over. There we go, last Chaos Crystal. And we're gonna nuke him again. Just for the sake of using my ult. Actually did finish one of my weeklies already. That was a nice thing. And this group may be the last one that we need. Yep, there we go. Second Chaos Dungeon done on my Devil Hunter. So like I said, we're almost done with the dailies on my main. Took already 25 minutes, which in itself isn't too bad if you think about it, for all the daily tasks that you technically can do. Last but not least, I wanted to show you that I'm going to be doing the daily guild contribution. That is just really do cheering. Definitely do that with shillings. If you have enough gold, you can do that too. Guild marks of honor, if you have that, you can use that too. Go to research to support and click on that. This is the bare minimum that you want to do every day in your guild. Obviously, the more resources you have, the more you can spend. But that is perfectly fine. Like I said, we're done with my main. On to the second part on one of my alts. I'm going to be using my Lance Master because I can do the full rotation on my Lance Master. Whereas opposed to my Soul Master, still cannot do Chaos Dungeons. So, hopping onto my Lance Master, you will see a very similar pattern. The main difference really is we're going to do raids on this guy, and we're going to do different Epona Dailies. But yeah, similar to other fashion. Click on featured, boom, boom, boom. I do have teleportations set up to facilitate quick and easy dailies. Like I said, there might be different dailies that you like to do, but I prefer just doing any dailies that gives me silver or shillings, as opposed to not doing any of them at all, because it's going to go to waste if you don't do them. I actually haven't looked at the clock, but it should be around about 27 minutes we're in this video. And I started these dailies, so we get that. First one is Earthentine. And right now we have 53,000 shillings. So let's do the first one. That was 17k. TP to Shoeshire. If you're wondering why I'm doing those three, it's because you can accept those all in the same room on the Parcel Island. Whereas if you were to pick other ones, they will actually be in both rooms, so you have to walk a little bit longer. All in the name of optimization, really. That's the whole kicker about Lost Ark. Essentially, like, even if you guys come or play different MMOs, you're pretty familiar with that system. You want to optimize your daily tasks to be as efficient as possible and to be not as tedious as possible, because otherwise you're going to end up spending more time actually doing dailies than playing the game. And I'm definitely not here to PvE the whole time. I do want to have like a relatively decent growth though. So last but not least, third daily done on my alt. Roughly a bit more than 50k shillings we got from this guy here. In, what was that, less than 2 minutes? Pretty good rate. Plus we got some legacy XP. That's really good. So like I said, checklist, I can do my Epona Dailies here. We're gonna hop into, we can take and see how long we have taken for all of this. Which is a good indicator. I haven't. So Chaos Dungeons, I have my PvE build, right? That's the same. Same deal here, enter alone. Actually haven't checked if I have Awakenings. Chaos Stones, or whatever I do have Chaos Shards and potions. Alright, Lancemaster obviously being quite a bit of a different class, and I'm sure this is where a lot of people will deviate, because I use a very tailored build towards my personal playstyle. What you're seeing here is definitely not something other people would be using, or at least not to the same extent as I am. But that's really, like I said, personal preference. Everybody's using different skill builds, everybody plays the class a little bit different. I just like playing it that way. But that's just me. The general procedure is still the same though. Group the enemies up into a tight pack so your AoEs facilitate that. I obviously have an AoE skill that pulls them together, which makes this very convenient for me. And this should clear most of them. There we go. We're almost done with my Zenith bar. I don't even have any class engravings for my Lancemaster, so there's a lot of power that I could be gaining by fixing engravings. There we go. Next pack is done. I'm definitely sure that there could be optimized skills for me to use, and I'm definitely not the best Lancemaster when it comes to PvE. But this one just works perfectly fine for me. There we go, first room done. On to the second one. This one is pretty much the hardest one for me, especially depending on the type of enemies you're finding. Like, these guys are usually not that difficult, but there are some kind of mobs that have a lot of CCs and knock you out of a lot of your abilities. Makes it fairly annoying to deal with. Alright, we're gonna be doing... grouping them up. This may have been a little bit misplaced. Okay, now should be fine. So the key here is try to make your user debuff on light blades. This one here. That causes deep wounds for 7 seconds. And use your ultimate once that is applied on the mobs, because that will almost instantly evaporate anything in your target, really. Or at least that was my experience with that. So freezing them is very nice because you stop taking damage, and it groups them up very nicely. And all the skills are out. There we go. Looking pretty good so far. And like I said, my gear is very, very weak compared to my Devil Hunter's gear. Not really optimized engravings, not really optimized anything, so... to make another group there. Probably not gonna get another elite spawn, but that's fine. We do have 3 minutes to kill the boss, we should definitely be able to do it. Lancemaster depends a lot more on her ultimate, which I kinda don't like, because placing it is really awkward. At least for me. There you go, boss spawned. Drop all aggro. We have a full stance bar. Did you really just dodge that one? Yeah, she did dodge. Alright. We're just gonna wait and rebuild it. There's no damage done if you don't get to launch your ultimate straight away at her. I just want to make sure that I have the full buff going. Oh, she's debuffed. And there we go, and you can see the damage going in there. So much juicy damage. And once you apply these rules, at least I find them very convenient to do on my Lancemaster that way. I pretty much had no trouble whatsoever doing any of that. Being a very subpar Lancemaster at best. Especially in PvE, like I said. I like this class a lot in PvP, not so much in PvE. But hey, every playstyle is different, so goes without saying. Group these guys up. Obviously, not having gems, not having the right engravings, and good tripods, there's definitely a lot of room for improvement here. Yep, first one's up. Get a full bar. Wrap those guys in here. And nuke. Like I said, fairly straightforward. The grouping of that skill is just very nice. I like it a lot. Let's go all the way down here. So yeah, like I said, you probably don't want to take Lancemaster advice when it comes to Chaos Zones for me, because like I said, this works for me. And a lot of people I talked to, they said I'm using a strange build. There might be more optimized stuff, but like I said, this works just fine for me. I just like using it, and it works, so might change things, right? We got the ults. We're gonna ult this guy here. And see how everything explodes. Wait for the mobs to be there. Group them up nice and tight. And we're closing in on the finisher on my Lance Master. Finally, Chaos Crystal. And first one done. Not wasting any time looking at all of these flashy end screens, especially if you're solo. And this is, like I said, the beauty of being solo. You just click through all of this, and it saves you a bunch of time, at least in my opinion. So I would highly recommend doing that. Also, pardon me if I, like I said, didn't talk a whole lot, but yeah, this is essentially... Maybe I should have done this on a live stream or something, I don't know. Just wanted to show you guys my daily routine and what I currently do in Lost Ark on a daily basis. We're pretty much almost done with that character though, because after the Chaos Dungeons we did the Eponas. We don't have a guild on this character, so all we gotta do is pretty much raids and we're done. And you'll see that raids are going down very quickly, so... Wait for the next pack, group them up. Switch to red stands. And boom. I mean, I do like PvE with Lancemaster. The problem is the skills that I like using are not really the greatest thing to use, so... kind of a problem. But hey, it still is fun for me, and as long as I can just keep it parked as an alt and PvP with it, that's all I really need. Not really looking for anything else. Okay, let's see. I don't really know the patterns of these guys. They seem to have running abilities, which is not very good. Because that may end up of getting misplaced quite heavily. Okay, I think I clipped all of them though. Good enough. Good enough for me. The last one's struggling a little bit behind, but probably doesn't know which direction to go. Come on, buddy. There we go. He charged in. I want to freeze these guys here first. Oh, failed this one. That's not good. Losing some nice damage here, but still very doable. One elite is probably about to spawn. Yeah, I was about to say that. I'm not sure if I need it though. Still gonna drag him in. Obviously, the better you are at clearing these mobs, the better or the faster it'll be when it comes to saving time and optimizing your runs. Next day we should be good enough to get the boss spawned. 2.5 minutes. Doable. If we don't whiff my ultimate, we should definitely be safe. If we don't get to place the ultimate correctly, maybe a problem. Oh, Slime King. I don't even know what kind of moves this guy has. What's a Slime Queen actually? Let's group these guys up first. Okay. I did actually freeze her. So we won't get a better chance in this one. And you see the amount of damage that we dealt. It's just scarily good. And imagine if I would have class engravings, the damage would have been even better. Very nice. Very nice and very convenient. Did take some damage here and there, but potions are cheap. And you saw that we pretty much made 50k shillings in like what, 2 minutes? So there's definitely no reason to be cheap on a bunch of potions. Especially since these Chaos runs also give us shillings. I think we made like 50k shillings from the Chaos run so far as well, so... Very nice, easy. And legitimately, I'm using the gear that I get from the boost character. So this guy has been boosted. So it's no flashy gear, it's no super high-end game gear or something. So, oh, did I tell you that I like stairs? Boom. I need to clear some. Fair enough. Depending on how good I am on my last character, we may be able to deal with all the daily tasks that I want to do. in less than 1 hour, which would be really convenient. Sure could have used my ult, but clear is just really so good. So we're gonna nuke this guy with my ult. Just gonna wait, drag the guys in. Raise him. Not sure why I'm having spikes lately, but maybe they have did something with the patch. Anyways, let's not have this deter us. Oh, we got even ambush. Huh. Okay, done with that. Let's escape. Like I said, gear check is obviously part of the aftermath of it, but you don't really have to do it straight away, so I wouldn't bother with it unless you're fully done. And now we're gonna do RNL. And you may be asking yourself, why the hell would you do the first raid? Like, what? Why would you even do that? And the answer is simple. First of all, it's quick. This is like the biggest thing, really. It's quick. Second of all, you always get abyssal shards, which are very, very good because you can exchange them for a variety of materials. And they are account bound, so I can use these abyss shards on any character that I feel like or want or need. So should I end up in the event that I don't really need them on my main, I could even perk up alts with it. Second of all, you still get a few of other materials. You can sell them on the auction house right now, not really for a whole lot, but sometimes they still sell. Plus Fetronites, plus your weekly, plus a possible drop-off engravings. And really, let's not bother any more time that we have to with this guy. Unfortunately, he did move there. And same rule here, really. Don't bother preserving anything. You even saw me use a flare. But like I said, these alts will go a long way in boosting your overall income. So I highly recommend optimize these things, even if you just do it like me on 2 or 3 characters. So we get a bunch of these. Song of Return. Unfortunately, there's no redo button like in Chaos Dungeons, which is a bit of a shame, I think, but would be nice if we could just re-enter the dungeon, but I suppose that's just a general system of the game. If you have a decent enough PC, especially if you run the game on an SSD disk, then you should be totally fine. Anywho, we're nearing the end of my daily route on my second character. Okay, this one. So yeah, even if you don't know what kind of raids to do or anything, just do Orono. He's very quick, he's very easy to do, and especially at that gear score. Like I said, this is my current item level, I can't open my inventory doing that. But item level, 870, this is all the engravings I have, so nothing really fancy or big. Just get the bar up. We're not going to use the ult there. Just want to show you that you can even nuke this guy. It's really nice without it. I just horribly played there, by the way. But don't take that as an example. Gonna be taking some more time now. There you go. Probably took like 20 seconds longer because I didn't use my ults or my awakening, and this is what I mean by use them. A chaos shard is 250 shillings. 250 shillings. So on a daily basis, you're gonna be spending 500 shillings for raids and what? Like 6 or 7 ults during our chaos dungeons? That's like, let's say you spend like 3,000 shillings on potions and chaos shards per alt. But you're getting all the resources, all the possible drops of engravings. Some of these engravings are still very valuable in terms of gold. So right now we didn't really get any, but still some of these definitely can pay off. So we're done with my second alt. Let's hop onto the third alt. I did do my check marks. Like I said, the third alt currently is still in the process of making for me, so I'm not going to do Chaos Dungeons just yet. Because I do want to do according Chaos Dungeons to my level, and currently not having done the quests in Yorn yet, I can't do high level Chaos Dungeons yet. So I'm keeping my Chaos Dungeons and saving my energy for that. So, same thing here. EP there. Start off with Eponas. And by now you pretty much see the routine that I'm trying to do, or that I'm taking. 1, 2, 3. 1. And 2. And a 3. Alright, so Earthentine. And now you probably also understand why my characters are so often located in Burn. That's just because of how it is. Right, obviously we're getting a little bit less shillings because this eye level, the eye level of this character is a little bit lower than the other two. So the rewards are scaled towards your item level, but still we have 13k shillings, which is still pretty decent. TP back to Burn, finish the third Epona, and then we're good. And then, like I said, Chaos Dungeons are currently not a thing. I will show you why. I'm just going to be doing the raids, and then we're done, and we may actually be able to do this. Maybe. In less than an hour. It's gonna be tricky. 7 minutes left. Might prove a little bit difficult. But we shall see. So, third Epona done. TP back to Burn Castle all the way up here. And like I said, this was more of a semi-useful guide or anything, if you will. I guess that makes sense. Alright, let's go on the horsey. So some leftovers that I did get from doing Abyss raids. So, like I said, before I actually close the game here, I can't do this Chaos Dungeon yet, because I need to complete King's Word, which is a quest in Yorn. So that's why I'm not doing Chaos Dungeons at the moment. Let's just hop over to Oronil. I think by now you know the procedure. We're just going to do it for the sake of completion and show you how long I have taken. Definitely potential to optimize things, but you pretty much get the idea. Do these things as quickly as possible. Even playing 3 characters, you can do all the daily tasks, or most, not all, but most of the daily tasks within 1 hour. So you roughly have an idea of what playing multiple characters mean, but also the added benefit that you're getting. We made, what, 200,000 shillings in the process over this 1 hour every day, just by doing daily tasks, which is pretty good, I think. So let's buff up 1, 2, 3. Buff again. Let's wait for him to do a move. I have been whiffed. No, I did whiff. Good. And boom, we're done. Soul Master's ultimate is even worse than Lance Master's due to the fact that it takes so long to land. But if that thing lands, bro, you're in for a lot of damage. You're in for a treat if you land that one. Alright, 20 Abyssal Shards again, some crystals. Song of Return. And we're about to finish my guide/walkthrough of my daily routine. My current daily routine, like I said. It'll be changed over time depending on my needs, depending on my main, depending on my alts. All of this is going to be a little bit different. So, last but not least, I stream as usual every Monday CST, as announced on Twitch, Twitter, or my Discord. Other days are going to be announced on pretty much all the other social media platforms, so keep your eyes peeled, including videos like these. If I know that I have a specific date or something in mind where I can play, I'm definitely going to shoot it out in the video. Like I said, there's going to be a whole lot of timestamps to allow you guys to jump around, so you don't have to watch the whole thing. And I do hope that this was helpful and insightful for some of you guys trying to elaborate how many alts I should be playing, how much time would it take me, what do I have to do, or what should I be doing on alts, and all that thing. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of alts myself, but I think playing 2 alts, or 1 alt and 1 main is definitely doable if you want to have reasonable progress. Because ultimately, if you don't plan on playing the game, then... Okay, I think he might have dodged this one. Yeah, he dodged. See, this is what I don't like about the alts. Okay, this is gonna take a few more minutes. You just witnessed my Lance Master scrubbiness. But that's perfectly fine. But generally, like I said, I'm not a big fan of playing multiple characters. I'd much rather play 1 character and 1 character alone. However, Lost Ark is definitely a game that does not play very nicely if you don't play at least 1 or 2 more alts. Playing 2 or 3 characters like what I'm currently doing is definitely doable and manageable. Because looking at the tower, we spent 1 hour pretty much doing almost all the daily tasks. And like I said, if you do take yourself somewhat seriously and you want to progress at a decent speed, well, that's pretty much what you have to be doing. Because otherwise, you either are forced to use your credit card, buy some gold, or you're just going to progress at a much slower speed. Last but not least, if you're just a PvP player, none of this probably matters because we're going to get the PvP patch after a while, but for now, that's not what we have. Anywho, like I said, this is all for my daily routine /guide/walkthrough. Thanks everybody for joining, and hopefully we'll see you guys either next stream or in the next video. So have a good one, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you guys next time.